True Seekers, hello. I wanted to focus on this topic today about how the rumor swirl of the US involvement with the cause of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline leak. But then I realized I may forget to cover this important topic introduced by David Nino Rodriguez concerning the secrets going on behind the scenes with Donald Trump. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and start with the relevant clip from this show.
Hey, look, man, I don't know what's your opinion on this. I'm going to ask you anyway.
Okay.
Well, and I'll make the sign, which is, that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, we won't say it because I don't want you to bomb this. But your thoughts on that? Is it real, not real?
Okay, here's what I say about that. Okay? Everyone knows what we're talking about. I know we're trying to get through the censors and all this stuff. Here's what I could say about it. Dan Scavino, who is my boss, okay? So when I was back then in the campaign, I would take my photos, fix them up, give them to Dan Scavino for him to use on Twitter, whatever. And then I had other bosses, like you give it to this person and they distribute the photos all over the place. Okay, all I'm saying is, if you followed that for a while, you know that Dan Scavino, how can I say this, has been playing footsies with everybody with all his clues.
Right.
All I can say when it comes to that is that I know Dan Scavino, and he's about as straight up a guy that you can get. He is Trump's, probably the closest person to Trump that's not a family member. He's a great guy. It's interesting. He doesn't do the talk circuit, so he stays quiet. And if I could say, very much like me, he doesn't talk a lot about personal things. I mean, could you imagine the stories that he could sell, to other places?
Right.
All I can say is that Dan Scavino is straight up. And I'm not saying that he has anything to do with it or anything like that. All I'm saying is I don't think he's misleading. I don't think he's playing a game with us. When I say playing a game,
he posts on that quite a bit, right?
Right, he does.
And I agree with you.
Yeah.
Gene, I agree with you because also, the comms that Trump has been putting up with the stars being blacked out on the flag. Wearing the lapel pin. I mean, why would he do that? He just gets a kick out of riling people up. I mean, to me, it's very serious. This is a very serious time in American history. And right now, we are at a critical juncture. And for him just to be careless and be I think today I'm going to wear the lapel pin, and get people all excited and just be a jackass. That's not what I see here, man. That's not what I see.
I mean, okay, I guess my point with that, go along with that, is that, is Dan Scavino punking us? Because there's a lot of
that'd be the best way to explain
right.
it. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that follow what he does, and any communication that he does, people latch onto it. And if he was punking us, if he was trying to whatever.
Yeah, that would actually be more evil than the left. I mean, if they were leading us on, making us all believe, putting out photos and symbology and stuff like that, and just leading us on, that would be detrimental to the MAGA movement.
Okay, so without me explaining much of the context of this clip, I think you guys may have a sense of where we're going here. So Gene Ho is the photographer for the Trump administration. He has been entrusted with the photography of numerous celebrities, including the glyph known as Prince, who I would say has a very interesting background and interesting expressed beliefs prior to his alleged passing. And so we see here that Gene appears to be taking Dan Scavino seriously. I had produced content previously covering one of Dan Scavino's signalings on Twitter. Looking over my catalog of videos, at times I do feel compelled to question and reconsider of all the things I've discussed. What is real? What is worth saving? What is dross? What wastes people's time? Do we take John McAfee and the interesting 17 figure that appeared on his Instagram the day he died seriously? What about Austin Steinbart? What about Mr. Dez? I would briefly link to the 17 boards on 17 alerts, but that website appears to be down for some reason. Truly just to make the point that if we are to take Dan Scavino seriously, and if it turns out that Austin was verified on the 17 boards, which we are to take seriously because we take Dan Scavino seriously, that it would mean that Austin really was involved with some type of special plan or implementation that is ongoing in some way, either with his involvement or not. Remember the acting Undersecretary for Intelligence Ezra Cohen-Watnick? This news piece pairs him with Kash Patel and Anthony Tata as quote-unquote Trump loyalists. Do you remember Ezra's speech to the Department of Defense press conference in November of 2020, right after the election? This drew up quite a stir in the 17 community. He directly invoked John F. Kennedy for some reason.
Has started the process of formalizing what we have long known, the fundamental role of U.S. special operations in defense and foreign policy by elevating special operations forces to a level on par with military departments as authorized and directed by Congress. As we enact these reforms, we follow the vision of President John F. Kennedy, who predicted the rise of special operations nearly 60 years ago. He foresaw, quote, another type of war, new in its intensity, ancient in its origin, that would require a whole new kind of strategy, a wholly different kind of forces which are too unconventional to be called conventional forces, which are growing in number and importance and significance.
And just take a note of his volume and the intonation of his voice as he delivers that portion of the speech. It's as if there's a lot of conviction in what he's saying. Scavino's coded references were numerous and apparently targeted. He would refer to President Trump as 45. Occasionally, I'll mention to you a contact who reaches out to me occasionally, providing some hints around current global events. The same contact behind the inspiration for a particular analysis I had done on the Ghost Machine video. This contact also esteemed Dan Scavino, pointing to him as a person to be trusted. And so now we're turning to the Gene Ho interview, just from considering how Gene lays out his methodology and interacting with notable people, preserving the secrets of the people he photographs. I do, just through my intuition, feel that I can trust what he's saying, which means that the silent fourth generation regular warfare is something more serious than what our minds would likely conceive in our day-to-day life. So I'm just gonna play you another segment for the setup to the previous clip that I played for you.
You gotta overheard some shit.
Here's the thing, and I tell this to many people. You know, a lot of people say, okay, Gene, what is your currency as a photographer? Like anyone else would say, they would say, oh yeah, you know what, Gene Ho, he has a great eye, or Gene Ho, he really knows how to see the angles. You know, my currency as a photographer, and I photographed many celebrities. I was friends with the artist formerly known as Prince. I photographed the president. Now, my currency, by the way, when it comes to my photography, is I know when to keep my mouth shut, and I know when to talk about things and when not to talk about things. And so, like, when this is all said and done, you know what? Maybe if it's not Trump, maybe another president would want to ask me to be their photographer. But anyone that hires me, especially the celebrities, man, I see so much stuff. Man, I've seen it all. Yeah. But the thing is, I keep my mouth shut on certain things. And like, I'll talk about good stories and stuff like that, what I can talk about. But you have to know that my currency is that I keep my mouth shut. And that's why I'm so popular with.
Yeah, his currency is that he's established himself as a trustworthy figure. In the comment section of a recent video I had uploaded concerning Biden's unfortunate quoted comments, Kelvin Bell left a very interesting comment that I now also have to reintegrate into what I know, taking into context the credibility of Dan Scavino and Gene Ho. He says, I was having a beer at our little bar inside New Kroger, and a girl introduced her wife who just got back from deployment in Cuba. Someone made a joke and said, where? Gitmo? And she says, yes. I was freaking out and asked her what's going on down there. She could only say that everyone is down there. She said everyone I think is down there that is locked up. To which I asked if he could provide a bit more context, to which he said, I was actually more shocked that no one else there knew how important that was. I was at a Kroger in Cartersville, Georgia. The girl worked at the new Texas Roadhouse next door, and her wife had just gotten back, so I guess there was shopping and they were having wine, but she did say that obviously I can't say much but that everyone was down there. She was just a stranger, so I totally believed her. I capitalized everyone because she looked at me and said it just like that. I've been studying these events for years, and that's the best intel, even from all those podcasts, and you mentioned some podcasts. So I'm giving Kelvin his full credibility and his experience with that anecdote from the person that he met there. And I'll tell you, I also have a personal anecdote from just real world living where a customer had just volunteered on her own to tell me a story about her son who's in the military. This occurred sometime in April 2020 when the world was still shocked by the authoritarian lockdowns occurring everywhere. Around that time, there were rumors concerning the process of devolution and continuity of government and questions about military operations to save little ones. Okay, and so this customer had told me that her son had taken someone to a facility known as CDC, and this is not Centers for Disease Control. This is the Child Development Centers run by the U.S. Army. As I just link to this website to reference the actual name of the type of facility, I see this advert for Army Special Operations. So in this rumor mill world, it's sometimes difficult to get to a precise division of the truth, but you can collect a series of anecdotes from individuals who you provide the basic credibility and esteem to, using the collection as a means of determining the quote-unquote preponderance of evidence in determining the truth. And I would here tell you that from everything that I've seen so far, it would seem that our collective belief and consideration that certain men and women are well placed to exert their full will and effort to create a better, less sociopathic world among those individuals, including Dan Scavino Jr. The evidence supports there is a bit more power on the side of righteousness than what is being made apparent in the media. I believe our excitement and positive outlook on the future can work in synergy with an effort to educate the public concerning the extent of the corruption within this world and the hidden war of both positive and negative forces battling it out for supremacy on a global scene. I want to say more, but my time is limited. Till next time, peace.
Patriots. Changes are being made. Quantum leaps are happening. Still, prepare yourself for what the wicked have in store. Don't forget the November surprise. Have faith, Patriots. All in good time. Have faith.
That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not.
That is the LNS, dude.
Well, if there's like...
Look at that thing!